We're going to take our feet and we're going to step them a little bit wider. So mine up a little bit wider than my shoulders. Again, I just feel I'm grounding down into the floor. Now, imagine from the soles of the feet, you've got roots growing down into the floor. And those roots are growing deep and wide, like the trees, and their roots are connecting underground. Again, just this visual will help you to feel more grounded. And we're going to now slowly bring our legs in. So you're going to bring them more shoulder width. And again, feel like you're grounding down into the feet. Feel that the toes are spreading out. Feel your tripod. Imagine those roots growing deep and wide. We come another step closer. Again, now I might be hip width, which is roughly a fist between the two knees. Then you just go to where you can today. Same thing. Feel into the feet, spread out the toes, feel the heels, big and little toe. Grounding down. You can close your eyes anytime. Remember, that is going to challenge your balance a little bit more. Through our eyes, we get a lot of input, where we are in space. We close our eyes, we rely more on our ear and our proprioception, our body awareness. Again, feel those roots. Now let's see if we can come a little bit closer. Again, you might go a little bit closer. Same again. How is it? We narrowing our base of support. So things become a little bit wobblier. Feel into the feet, feel the width, feel the roots, feel the connection. Now we try and maybe get the feet all the way together. Now, if you've done Pilates, you will know that we often get taught to pull up through the arches of the feet, through the inner thighs, through the pelvic floor, everything lifting up and this suction up. This is great. This can help you when we're doing balances on one leg, things like that. But when you're walking, when you're moving, when you're in motion, it's not the best strategy, because if you're holding still, you're not going to be breathing, things aren't flowing. So it has its place, but we also need to go to the other spectrum where we just trust the body and the body's internal GPS, the inner ear, proprioception, the eyes, they are working together with the muscles and they're doing their job without us having to think about it. So again, feel into the roots. Now, if we take our arms out, this usually helps us with the balance. So this is one strategy. We're widening up here. We can put a finger on the wall or on your chair. So whenever you start to feel always a bit too much, remember, brain wants to feel safe. One little finger on the wall, on the chair, and then you can perform the movements usually a little bit better while still challenging or training your balance. Good, let's slowly bring the arms back down. And then let's just see if we can lift one leg up, arms on the side. Maybe I just lift the heel up. And now right leg heel up, my left foot really anchors down. Maybe I can lift it up. It's not about the height. Can I feel those roots? Can I feel the width across my toes? Let's test the other leg. I just lift the heel. What is my foot doing? Is it crunching up? If your foot is crunching up, the toes are crunching up, you're losing. The big toe knuckle joint usually comes up. You're losing that width, that base of support. Maybe we can lift it up. Check your breathing. Good. And then release it down for a moment. Just take your legs a little bit wider, hands on hips, and we're just going for a little release, a little circle. Now, when we think of balance, I think we often think of we have to be completely still, nothing is moving. But I like to think of it more as the verb, balancing, which means we are in motion, we are doing something, it's continuously moving. Because in reality, we are never still. Even though if I'm standing still, I might appear still, Inside, there's always things moving. My weight is constantly shifting. There are force plates where you can stand on, where it measures your weight, and it's basically constantly like this. So we're constantly balancing. We're constantly finding our equilibrium. Let's go the other way. So again, we never still. So let's think more of balancing. And if we want to train it to, for example, prevent falls, we need to challenge ourselves to really find that balance, to train the reaction and to train that we can balance or be balancing even when, let's say, our body's over here and the leg is there. Yeah, because you might sort of slip and be like, whoa, what's going on? Yeah, so it doesn't have to be still and perfect, static for it to be good. So let's take the legs closer together. It could be hip width or it could be all the way together. This will be a bit more challenging. So hip width, again, we circle. We might be like, oh, okay, a little bit wobblier. Brain wants to be safe. Maybe I can take my hands out. Maybe I can close my eyes. You can also do it with feet all the way together. If it aggravates anything in the back, just a little space between the legs. Do I need my hands? My arms? Can I close my eyes? Maybe I go the other way. Good. And then back into the middle. Let's go a little bit wider again, so roughly shoulder width. Now we're just going to shift the weight left and right. Again, your hands, your arms can be wherever they're comfortable. They don't have to be on the hips. You could also have your chair in front of you here or the wall holding on. Now again, when we walk, I'm just going to use that because that's what everyone will be doing. You will have to shift your weight from one leg to the other. So if we shift, maybe you just lift the heel, maybe you lift your foot a little bit up. You shift, you lift a little bit up. Shift and lift. Again, you don't have to lift. You can just shift, root down. Think of that image of the roots and over. Now, if this is easy, let's try and move our eyes only. So I shift, I look up. Just my eyes. And I look down. Again, this is playtime. You can look left, you can look right. You're just moving your eyes. But keep changing your eyes. It can be slower or faster. And then let's maybe try and move our head. Oh, it becomes a bit harder. Maybe up, maybe down. And hope you can start to feel the muscles in your legs working. Around the bum, in the feet, the calves. Anytime you need a rest, you just pause and stop. Okay, last version. What about closing the eyes? When the brain doesn't feel safe, you will get a nervous system output. So if you start to sweat or your breathing changes or you feel a bit nervous or even nauseous, anxious, that's a sign it's too much. And then we put a finger on the wall or we don't close our eyes. Yeah. So then again, eyes closed, maybe we move the head. And it's fine if we lose our balance. So if I'm going here and I'm moving, I'm like, ooh, okay. I catch myself. That's part of the training. Think of balancing. Let's try one more each side. And back into the middle. And just give everything a little shake. Good. Now we're going to do a few calf raises. Again, you can have your fingers on the wall or you can have your hands on the chair in front of you. I'm just going to do it in the center so you can see well. So you're just going to go up on the toes and then heels down. Or the attempt, the thought of lifting up, even if it's too much and we can't lift up. We think of going up and everything will fire up. Your brain will still fire up to get you up onto the balance. Again, start hip width, up and down. I'm just putting my hands here to mimic if I'm holding on to something. Up and down. Now again, think of this base of support here. Big toe, little toe knuckle joint. So when we go up on the toes, you try to keep them nice and rooted down or grounded down. So I'm not rolling in or out, and I'm not going necessarily too high. So you want to try and keep the little toe knuckle joint firmly on the floor. And then down. Might be very easy for you, so let's add some eyes. Up and down. Maybe it's enough for you today. So we're going through the same all the time, as in with each exercise. We're changing the input, we're changing the visual, and we're changing the head. So that's eyes and inner ear. You can also circle, making it even more of a challenge. And we can close our eyes. Now, so you have the same. So I'm leaving it up to you to play with these different things on the calf raises for a little bit longer. Here you will work your calves a lot, which is very important for our circulation. The calf muscles are connected with pumping the blood back to the heart, so that's why it's also really good for circulation to do calf raises. And this can also be done seated. So of course you don't have the same weight, but still you can sit, and you could sit on your wobbly cushion and you go up and you go down. You go up and you go down. It doesn't have the balance aspect in the sense that we have standing, unless I put my wobbly cushion here. And then you will feel that this has to work a little bit. Just showing you all the different options. 2, 3 more. Good. And then have a little release, maybe shake the legs a little bit in between.